Hello there, it's Wednesday today, and yes, I'm coming on midweek because I just finished listing new items to my Etsy store. I didn't really want to take my Friday slot for this type of announcement because on Fridays I like to create something or present you with a process video. But today it's going to be a show and tell, and not that much tell because most of the items you will see here are things I made over the last weeks or months, and so you might be familiar with them already. Anyway, on the store there is always a detailed description. There are extra photos if you are interested to find out about these things in more detail. So let me get started right away. First is a smaller type of wall decor piece here. It's done on a sturdy piece of wood. It has fiber textures. It has string and beads. The colors are brown, black, white, and copper. So here it is. All my things are always cleaned up nicely on the back. Many have a hook. If they don't have a hook, that means they can either be used standing up, or I provide a set of easy to install hardware so you can add the hook if you decide to hang it up on your wall. So next is my altered paintbrush. It's pretty wide. It has an unpainted edge here on the bottom. Then I added all kinds of embellishments, a lot of fibers, wires, broken jewelry, you name it. There is a little decorated gecko, there is a decorated tag, and then it has this extra dangle here. It's a pretty chain with some charms, some stones, crystal, and it has a tiny little hook so it stays in place, but it can be taken off. This brush too has a hook right there. So let's see. Next we have these two altered wall shelves. Oops, what's on there? All right. So one is a little bigger than the other, as you can see. So let's start with the smaller one. Both of them have the same mechanism. It's a turntable bearing right in the middle here. They each have a little foot and each have a lot of texture. Here I used for the main texture part some plaster bandage. As you can see, it really creates a lot of valleys and little mountains. Now this one has painted and unpainted gears. It has a little crow's skull up here, and the little stand is decorated as well. And now in the inside I placed this little figurine of a torso. As you can see, it also got texture by using the same plaster bandage. So here is the front view. It has saying "Be strong" right there within the wall. And from the back it looks like this. So, and it has little turquoise feet. So there's that one. And the next one is just a little bit bigger, but here the outside was done with wire and different other materials. It has some of my sawdust gesso on it, so lots of texture. Again, some round elements which go all around it. The color is mostly brown orange, is my rusty paste. It also has a decorated foot again here on the bottom. Now the inside is a bit lighter. The round elements continue, and it has a hanging jar here. It's a mason jar salt shaker, hangs on 4 pieces of chain, and it has some paper rolls in it, some charms, pencil, and so on. So there is the second shelf. I'm going to move them over here a little bit. And then I have this one. I called this Parenthood. It has 2 glass tubes with these 2 dolls in it. A brain, a heart, a mirror, lots of charm. It has a drawer knob, some rusted elements. All are clean. This has some craft paper in the back. Same craft paper was also used on the inside. So here is this one, and there was a lot of thought behind it, and all that is covered in one of my video. So that was the Parenthood, and then I also, sorry about that, and then I also have one I call Childhood. Now it's a bit big, but because of the way my camera is, okay, here you can see it all in one piece. And it's a very sturdy, a little bit heavy frame with all these compartments. It has some movable part, like here is a chain with a key. Here on the bottom is a chain with a tiny baby doll. And then I added this metal dome, and inside is a vintage image of a little boy and a girl. And it also has 3 of these crystals. They're hanging here. 2 are see-through, 1 is colorful. So these are there. And then of course again lots and lots of doodads. Lots of kid toys, again game pieces, jewelry, you name it. Same here on the bottom, 2 big doorknobs and lots of detailing. The sides are nicely cleaned with old book pages. So is the back. It has metal corners on all 4 corners. So here is the one I call Childhood. The coloring is something between a bronze and teal and some black and some green too. So here's this one. Let me put this down. It's kind of a big one. All right, next we have the heart one. I did this a little while back. It has a small tiny drawer here with a heart. I suspended it on a spring so it moves. It has a nice rusty screw in the middle, and I made this heart out of polymer clay. Now everything is decorated with teal and copper. Again, lots of details all over. Here smaller items, beads, you name it. It has metal corners. The sides are cleaned with craft paper, the same I used inside the little drawer. The back is just clean wood. So here's the heart one. And then I have this one. Now here I worked in an old vintage wooden box, so it's a bit rough and I left it that way. It has kind of a reddish coloration here. It has a doorknob in the shape of a star. The back is very simple but clean. And here on the inside I used craft paper, which has a crackle in it. Then I decorated the shell of an old-fashioned alarm clock. I took the mechanism out and replaced it with a photo of a little girl with her dog. And as you can see, again, lots and lots of details. This has mostly charms and jewelry pieces and has kind of a black silver finish. So here is that one. And then one more. This one I called Just Be, like Just Be Yourself. Again, I used 2 tiny drawers. There are some hanging elements like this dome with an arrow and a little dangle of a turquoise stone. Here is a butterfly, again with a turquoise stone. There is a spider web, there is a cute little lantern, and lots of other interesting details. Again, lots of elements put together by adding teal and copper to it. There are some metal corners here, and the sides and the back are cleaned with craft paper. So here's this one. So those were all my assemblages, I think. So quite a few. But then I have a couple more things which I put in my D-stash folder in my store. One is this necklace. And yes, I'm not really a jewelry maker, but I made this a couple of years ago in a jewelry class. I know we used very good quality materials. It is sterling silver. I don't know the name of these beads, but they are very pretty, as you can see. And it is a really good looking necklace. The problem is I am not a jewelry wearer, hardly ever, except maybe my little beads here. So I would like to sell it in my store, and it's available, as I said, under the D-stash section. In the same section, I also have 3 bags of these earrings in my D-stash folder in my Etsy store. Now each of these bags weighs about the same. They have 30 plus pairs of earrings in it, and these are all wearable. But on the other hand, they also make really good embellishments. So if you're an artist, a crafter, if you do jewelry and you want to redesign some of these, use some elements to make something completely new, these are perfect. Now, I do work a lot with broken jewelry, but that's just it, the broken things, the bits and pieces, the single earrings and so on. But these are pairs, so they are usable for many more reasons. And I want to offer them in my D-stash. So there will be a photo exactly of what type of earrings you get. I won't unpack them right now, but they will come to you separated by little bags, so you don't have a huge mess when they arrive. So that's it. I think that's all I had. So as you could see, I listed quite a few assemblages in my store. Now some of these boxes are a bit on the heavy side, so of course I have to consider my cost of shipping within the price. Now the jewelry pieces you will find in my D-stash. These 3 bags are definitely meant mostly for supplies, but as I mentioned earlier, they are wearable. Now my store is set on domestic, but as long as you live in the United States, you can buy from there. All the info to my store will be below in my description box one more time. I hope I get to see you over there. Thank you so much for coming today and listening. I hope you stay safe and well and home. I talk to you latest on Friday. Bye bye for now.